Hello. Okay. This vlog doesn't really have to do anything with recent movies. These are just movies that I picked out from the DVD rack and Netflix and whatever. I mean, these movies aren't kind of new, but like, you know, not breaking new like Inception and Salt and whatever movie's out right now. So this is just a filmathon, just like what I watched this afternoon and my quick reviews on them. You know, because yeah, I know other people have done already, but I'm gonna give it another. I'm gonna give my own take on them, anyways, just cause. First movie, 2012, and I actually didn't watch it today. I watched it yesterday, and the movie I heard was Roland Emmerich's last, like his last disaster film, and I don't know how long he's gonna stick with that claim because the man, the man can make a non-disaster film, but that's it's kind of hard for me to imagine that's like he can like imagine other genres besides blowing stuff up. I don't know. That's just what I think, and I'm not a huge fan of Roland Emmerich. In fact, a lot of his movies are on my on my list. Like I hated Stargate. In Independence Day was okay, and Godzilla was worse than Stargate, and The Patriot I don't know, it was just and The Day After Tomorrow was I don't know if it's worse or better than Stargate. And just like I don't know, the man is sort of hit and miss for me, and I didn't see 10,000 BC. I got kind of sick and tired of watching his films, but I was gonna skip this one, and I did skip it in theaters. But you know, I actually got kind of curious. Like I forced myself to just skip this movie no matter what, even though like it's interesting. But at the same time, it was interesting because like it's a movie based on the end of the world's theory that I really don't believe in, but it's still really interesting to see like what he would put on screen. And he said since this is his last disaster film, he would go all out on this film. And a lot of people said that he did. Like the disaster spectacle in this movie is so grand that like it even shocked critics enough that they were willing to consider the special effects in their reviews. Like special effects are always in the review, but never the main focus. It's always the story. And in some reviews I've read, the effects were the main focus, and they were enough to actually make you like the movie, which is a little weird to me. And granted, most of the reviews of this movie were negative, but the positive ones were for the effects. The story is still bland, that's what I heard. And I agree, the story is bland, but okay. But the effects, I don't know. Let me just start with the movie. I mean, the movie stars John Cusack. He plays this out of luck limo driver, and he's out of luck. He doesn't have his family. His wife has remarried, and yeah, that's one story because there's a bunch of human storylines. There's storyline with the black guy from Serenity. I can't pronounce his name. His father working on a cruise ship, the president's cabinet, the president himself. So a lot of storylines. Oh, my sister's there. There's a lot of storylines in this movie, and close the door. And I don't like this movie. The movie sucks. Still, it still sucks. But this is the kind of movie where like it has that sort of effect where if you skip some scenes, you watch some scenes, you'll be entertained by it, but you just gotta keep skipping, because that's pretty much it. I mean, it's kind of like Starship Troopers for me, because I can't watch Starship Troopers anymore. It's way too conspiracy garbage. So Most of the time, I'll just be, whenever it's on, I'll just skip to the bug fighting scenes and skip over all the talking scenes. And I never do that to a film unless it's that bad. This 2012 sucked balls. It is, crap. It's probably worse than Godzilla to me, out of Roland Emmerich's films. It's worse than Godzilla. And when, like, Transformers 2 is better, and these movies were, I'm saying that because they were made in the same year, and when Transformers 2 is better than 2012, that's saying something. Because I would rather watch Transformers 2 than 2012. And I had to think about that. I had to really just sit down and think about that. But, yeah. Anyways, the reason why 2012 is really bad is that, not because of the effects. Effects are really good. Sorry, my sister's. The effects were really good. But what it falls apart is the story. The story is so bland and, like, just does not really feel like... Okay, it's in every single Roland Emmerich film, they always have, like, this sort of storyline where you're trying to follow... Sorry. You're trying to follow the common man, and it's so hammy, and it just feels really, it feels like a really hammy kind of film where it's like, it's in every single movie that he's done. Every single disaster movie. It's so overdone, it's so overplayed, and it just makes the movie feel really like his other movies, and that's really bad. And in the first half of the movie, the story, like, where they're trying to build up on the end of the world stuff, I almost turned off the movie because how they're building up, they're introducing all these characters, but all these storylines you really don't care about. You really do not care about. You just want to see the explosions and disaster and stuff. It's just I really almost just turned off the movie at that point. And yeah, this is the part where I say, if the story was bad, what about the effects? The effects, I'm gonna counter that. You don't really see any real thing being destroyed. You're only watching CGI stuff being destroyed. And I know people say the movie gets boring after a while. The movie got really boring after a while. And that is not a good sign in a disaster movie. And that's all I got to say about 2012. It sucked really badly. And I know a lot of people say it's one of his better movies. I tend to disagree. I'd say it's worse than Godzilla, and I thought Godzilla was the worst Emmerich film.